what? Oh, wait, hold on. Preparing to live stream any moment. This is the moment. Let me get.
Night is it something?
Hold on. Preparing to live stream. YouTube. Any moment.
Hey.
All right. Going live. What up, YouTube friends? We are about to hit it on Instagram. This is Office Hours. Woo-hoo! Yes, sir. I think that should be an Office Hour theme song.
Yeah.
That felt good. What up, gang? Yeah.
Right?
You guys like that? Guys in the That's a good motif.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. Da, 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 da.
Oh.
That's our Office Hours theme song in the making.
Alright, I'm sending a request. Oh, you know what? Something is wrong here. Something is very wrong.
Elias is the first. Oh, wait. Oh, it's happening. Yeah, what are we thinking?
Whoa.
Whoa. What? Oh, it's like everything changed.
Right?
Elias is
Um,
on the tube. I love that. What up? All right, now we're officially here. Office Hours.
it keeps on turning my sound on. That's this weird, like, a very random thing that happens with my phone. It's like the sound just keeps on going back on. Like when I turn the volume off, it
Yeah,
just slowly turns back on. It's very strange.
that just happened to me too
It's
because our
like
phones control us apparently.
it's like a ghost is like turning the volume up on the phone.
Yes. Zach Gang, we missed you. Oh my gosh, I've missed office hours. We just came up with a little for anyone who's not watching on YouTube. Professor Leo came up with a beginning of a we could do like call and response. Do you like play that and then I do like second part?
Okay.
Office hours.
Woo!
Like that length. That's even kind of long. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Y'all like
Y'all ready for this?
it? All right, everybody. Missed you terribly, but we are here with office hours. Schedules have been, been doing the freelance digital world of scheduling, which is a whole nother thing. And thanks for
Yeah, how's that going?
scheduling in general.
Yeah.
Man, it's
Do you have
just
any do you have any gigs? Like, do you have any like? I'm just curious. Is there any like prospects of gigs soon, or what's your vibe?
so there's a couple venues actually coming up in like a week that want to bring my they're bringing my band to Massachusetts and we're going to do this safe um isolated concerts with no audience and they're going to film it and then like stream the show. So we're going to head to Massachusetts, yeah, next week. And then wildly enough, I'm going to do the same thing with an orchestra in Massachusetts. It was originally
Oh.
supposed to be a gig in front of like really big event, like 5,000 people outside with the symphony orchestra, also in Massachusetts. But then they're like, we want to still do this remotely. They've like built plexiglass onto the stage and they're having their orchestral members like wear masks. And then I'm doing some remote recording and then we'll come together with them. But those are the only ones so far that have moved forward. The other ones canceled slash rescheduled. Technically, we have a gig in New York in September and haven't heard any word yet. What about you? It's such a wild time.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Let me just say, I love Massachusetts. So that's cool.
Me
Um,
too.
I really. It's like weird when like you love a state a lot, but you're not from it. So I kind of feel bad. I'm like, but Pennsylvania though, like that's where I'm from, and New York's where I lived. But man, Massachusetts is really beautiful. And chill.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so we're working on like we have some offers to do drive-in shows.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
Too many zoos does at least. So um, we're looking at a possible date in uh, I guess I think it's the end of this month actually.
Where?
Um, in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, word. Is anybody watching in upstate New York? Have any of you been to drive-in concerts yet? I'm just curious if anyone's watching. It's timely that you say that, Leo, because I was just talking to another friend who, yeah, he did some drive-in concerts. Like, I'd be so curious to hear how that goes.
Yeah, Mike's doing Mooner's is doing one this weekend. So I'm curious. Yeah, and then we have another potential offer in Burlington, Vermont, at the second week of September.
I love Burlington.
Yeah.
Is that a drive-in as well?
Yes.
Okay. So the venues are like set up now for drive-ins, or will you be the first ones?
Uh, I both of these venues have already done drive-ins.
Okay.
So I guess it's just like a separate area that it's like near where the venue is, but it's like completely outside and everything. It's
Gotcha.
like higher ground. I don't know if you've ever been to that venue in Vermont or
Haven't.
yeah, in Burlington. Um, it's very yeah, it's very like it's like a rock venue.
Cool.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So people are saying they haven't been to driving concerts yet, but they've been streaming them. Yeah. I mean, maybe this is going to be the next thing, driving concerts
Yeah.
slash streaming. I mean, honestly, uh, and this might be some education for those of you who are watching who don't know the way that venues, you know, work on the business end, but it's definitely more of a a risk on the venue side to still bring in an artist with no audience and then stream it. um, but I think the quality that they can get, if they're able to make that investment, can potentially reach more people online if people buy tickets. But it must be a very interesting situation for venues right now to a survive these times. um, I have a feeling, unfortunately, that we're going to see some of our favorite clubs not be able to sustain, although I hope they get extra funding. And then also just see cats get like creative. Like the drive-in thing is definitely, it's a creative thing that I feel like wouldn't have come about if we weren't in this situation.
Yeah. Um, we'll see. I mean, the live stream thing, honestly, I didn't get I just did like a live stream show like with Too Many Zoos
I
last weekend.
watched.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It was great. It was great to see you all together. Were you guys
Oh.
there? Did anybody watch the Too Many Z's Moon Hooch live stream? I'm seeing some hearts. I think cats were there.
Um, yeah, so it wasn't like it was okay. It wasn't the feeling of playing a show to me.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was all right.
Yeah. I like seeing you all together at the end. That was
Yeah.
that just had like such good vibes.
Yeah, it was also just like a stressful situation and everything kind of came together last second. It was like, 10 minutes or 15 minutes before and we're just like, "Oh, the sound's weird. Like what's up with this?" You know what I mean? It was just like
There
it
in
was what do you say?
Sheesh there in person.
No, he actually wasn't. Okay, so what happened was it became too sorry, my phone will not just stay. It became too like the Wi-Fi. It's like we needed two separate Wi-Fis really strong Wi-Fi's to make it
Ah,
work,
okay.
and so she ended up staying home to just make it work.
Gotcha.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
'Cause I saw his little boy and I'm like on his lap and I was like, I have a feeling that they might not be there in person because I don't think
Yeah.
it'd be a lot
So
for him.
so it did everything work, but we did have to like set up all the cameras and work everything, and it just was like and like I don't know, it was just not as great as we expected, and you know what I mean. You know when you have like a fantasy plan and it's like you have this light show and crazy
Oh my God.
background, and then like you actually get there and like all these little like sound check takes like 3 or 4 hours, and you're like, you know what I mean, and like
Yeah.
it just was not realistic to do all this stuff. Like,
Yeah, for all of you listening, Shiva just said, "Why don't you guys do a private phone call?" I mean, we do those too, and I'm sorry if this is us kind of catching up in the beginning of office hours, and um, hopefully some of you think it's
whoa, she was like mad. Sorry.
hopefully some of you think it's cool because this is part of us, you know. Okay, I'm seeing some hearts. It's part of us just like easing into it. It is the morning. We're waking up. We're not a bam 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 quite yet, but and I love hearing what's going on in your world. But I was gonna say to everybody listening, like if any of you are trying to put together your own live streams or any tech stuff, very curious, and you can drop it in the comments, like what have your challenges been? Because and y'all chat it up with each other too. Because I have like Leo, what you were just saying, I have also had these very grand plans. And then when it actually comes to executing, it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta simplify this. And a lot of times it happens like in the moment right before the thing is about to happen. Or something just like technology makes us have to learn really fast in the moment and it takes up way more time than just showing up somewhere and playing. And now
Yeah.
this is the currency of like, do you have good sound? Do you have good audio? Otherwise, we literally can't connect with all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a great
It's
learning. I mean, I'm
you
sure.
know, it's a great learning experience. Like I just I was hoping that it would be a huge giant success, and this would be like the answer to continuing Too Many Zoos the business. And I don't think it is the answer, but it could be part of the answer.
Mhm. We keep searching. Somebody said, oh, that's so sweet. Callie is saying, I thought the Moon Zoo's live stream was pretty damn good. A lot of us watched you twice. Oh,
Oh wow, dope.
that's
Thank
awesome.
you, thank you. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I mean, it's weird. It's like my own personal feelings of a show, and this is again this is good stuff for anybody to digest and um, reflect on their own life performing. It's like my feelings are not how the show went. You know, a lot of times I'll listen back to a show and I'll be like, this show was amazing. Like, why did I think it was bad? Or I'll be like, I was on fire last night, and then I'll like listen to it and be like, that was okay.
I know totally what you're saying. It's so interesting when you actually have the recording. Sometimes it's the most honest thing and it can be so different than yeah, what I was thinking in a given moment. I know. I
Yeah,
thought it went over. It was really cool, and I love that you guys are pushing the envelope of even trying to do a collab like that in a production, and you know,
yeah,
it takes planning, it takes experimenting, and it takes you know entrepreneurial ideas of how to get music out to people right now.
yeah, yeah. I really connect with the dudes in Moon Hooch, and I feel like when I'm hanging out with them, I just feel like I fit in so well, like, and I just feel like they're brothers from a distant planet, and yeah. So anytime I can try to do some type of work, it's so great, like to be able to work with people that you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What a what a beautiful thing about music. that that is common,
It
you
is.
know?
I think I'm feeling that more than ever right now because this is like almost the most amount of alone time without constantly playing sessions. And it really flexes the opposite thing of how beautiful it is to play with other people, which is something we take for granted, I think. At least I did. But it's whether we're coming together or, getting to just make music with other people with instruments that you can hear and they're vibrating. I
Uh-huh.
went to the city the other day safely and hung out with Josh and Martina actually.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so fun. And
dope.
we went to a little coffee shop and cats were playing. Again, social distance, safe. And I was like, wow, I thought an acoustic bass sounds live. That sounds so good. And I kind of forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Acoustic bass can be it can be so appealing and so like nice to listen to and just that boom of it. But also sometimes it's just so like tinny and stringy and just like tick, tick, like all you can hear is like you know what I mean when it's like a situation where like the acoustics really bad and like there's like a loud trumpet player and like the bass player doesn't have a mic and it's just they're just trying so hard to be loud and all you can really hear is like kind of like the percussive quality of it.
Totally.
It's like
Yeah.
ting ting ting.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
hey.
yo,
Oh,
so can I just say, sorry, Shiva, the person that was wanted us to have a personal phone call, she asked a question, so I'd like to just answer it.
oh, please do.
Shiva asked, "How do you make a band popular?" Okay,
Love that.
let
All right, great question. And wait, before you go into that, I just want to send a quick apology of Shiva. Not to cut you off, Leo, but you mentioned in the comment that you said sorry and that you were trolling. But actually, I love the feedback, and I hope you all will continue to give us feedback because we're always just trying to grow as teachers and streamers. And I didn't want my words to come across like I was upset or anything. So, apologies if it came off that way. And if anything, we really appreciate you guys just hanging with us and giving us your honest words. Okay. Anyways, go.
so to make a band popular, first of all, um, you need commitment between the members. I mean, if unless it's a solo project, then I wouldn't really like call that a band, you know. Um, but if it's like a band, you need commitment,
Love
and within that commitment, you have to be rehearsing and you have to be performing. Um, if you do not have a place to perform, find a place to perform. It could be outside. It could be, well, let's just say it'll be outside at this particular time in the world.
right.
Um, because you want to create a scene. Um, being part of a scene is the first step to moving on and touring the world and creating a fan base and all that stuff. Um, so you could either join a scene or you can create a scene. Um, uh, those are like the most important thing. Every time I hear about any type of band, it's like, oh man, they that band was really popular in the '80s and they came up in the Chicago hip hop scene or whatever. You know, there's always like some type of scene. Um, so like Too Many Zoos, for example, it's like there was a real subway scene in New York City where people were making money and expressing, their art in the subway and people were really loving it. There's a real scene and there's also these viral videos that just started happening in the subway of whatever, of like a crazy rad or a break dancer or all these different things. And that's what I saw. I was like, there is a scene here for music to become popular. I saw other bands like Moonhooch or like Hypnotic Brass that were performing in the subway, and I was like, okay, I want to be part of this scene. Um, so that's really cool. Then there's people that are even like more original that like even beyond that like create a scene where it's like are throwing parties like um I don't know if you guys know Diplo, very accomplished producer. He I saw this interview of him talking about how he was like throwing these parties when he first started like producing music, and it's like he created that audience and he just became tight with all these people that were throwing parties. And this is before there were like raves and stuff like that. I mean, I guess there was always some form of rave, but not like how it is now with Coachella and Bonnaroo and all that stuff.
I heard a
It's like,
story with David Guetta that
yeah,
on a podcast. Yeah.
and you know, it's not going to always be handed to you, um, but you want to create a scene or be part of a scene. That's as far as like performing how you get there, and that's one branch in the tree of being successful. Um, but you want to have multiple branches. You want to be branching out. Another way is the internet, uh, and social media, all that stuff. Um, what I've noticed the best way to get attention fast is do creative covers of other bands. What do you say?
Great tip.
Yeah. Um, for and like realize you do not have to stay as a cover band if you do popular covers. It's actually not something you had to do. I
Because I
used to
think people
worry
think
about.
about the fear, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
box.
used to worry about that, but Lucky Chops is a perfect example. The majority of the music they do is original, but when I was in the band, we were really mostly doing covers, and that's how we got our. When I was in the band, that's kind of how we got our start was doing covers, but it's not something that you have to do. Another group, uh, I guess they're not together anymore. Never mind. Um, I was gonna say Third Story is another example where they
Ah,
did a
yeah.
lot of covers, but then they were doing originals. But I don't think they exist anymore. But
Postmodern Jukebox, which I did a
yeah,
on once. I mean, they still do covers, but I have a feeling that if they now did original music, they have a huge audience and they'd have
yeah.
the audience would listen.
Or Pentatonics. They that's another. So okay. So then because you want to get people that like music to listen to your music, and a good gateway for that is covers because a lot of people search. They'll be like, okay, what's the new Adele song? Okay, it says hello, for example. All right, some people just write in YouTube like hello covers. There's a lot of people that do that. People just love listening to covers. Um,
They know
uh,
them, right?
yeah, 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 exactly. Um, so that's another good way. Another thing is like just being generally creative. Um, just really think about how you want to appear in a video or something that will really keep people's attention. Whenever you're making videos in 2020, realize that people's attention spans are really short. So try to be really creative and capture attention really fast. Um,
Like you need to do within the first, 2 minutes. It's going to sound extreme, but it's the case, right? How many of us just click on something and if it doesn't get us within like a minute, we're on
yeah.
to our next thing.
And focusing on media that involves pedestrian people walking by doing stuff is really valuable because um, like you're trying to entertain people and it's almost like having all these other random people interacting with you while you're playing is like another form of entertainment. So it's like I was watching the sax player the other day performing out in he's performing just to like a track out in public, and this video had like 8 million views, and I was like, why does this video have 8 million views? Like, no offense, I mean he sounds great, but it just seems like there's a lot of busking videos. But as I started watching the video for a little bit, and then these people started dancing, and then there's this group of people, and then there's this guy that was just really sweet, and he was dancing in such a way that was really like captivating and motivating, inspiring because it's just like he was moving his body in a way that he just didn't really care, and um, it's like as one piece, as one artistic piece, it was really like a beautiful thing, and the guy playing the saxophone was just like a small part of that. Um,
There's a built-in story there, whether he knew it or not. I mean, in that case, and that's something I've been noticing when I watch content, the things I'm most likely to keep watching um, is something that has a storyline. And I guess they were building their story right there because you want to know what's going to happen next. I mean, in a way, It's interesting because creating content these days feels more like we have to be like mini filmmakers, you know, when
My
you think about video.
my phone's it's like too hot.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh,
Just saying that's why I'm not on Instagram right now.
Leo just got, for all of you on IG, apparently our twinning red hair got so hot for his phone that it literally gave him a warning message. Okay, well, he can request back in. Wow. Okay, so IG fam, if you are still here on Instagram, go on over to YouTube because Leo's phone is having a moment and not letting him log back in. But we're
I'm
still
like
on
worried
YouTube.
about honestly I'm worried about my phone. This is like this has happened like almost every day the last few days.
Oh no. It
Yeah.
might be time.
And it's been every time I live stream.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Also, okay, so Instagram fam, if you head over to YouTube, we're there. Um, we're about to watch some people's review videos. So actually, it's a good time to head over to YouTube because there'll be better sound. Um, and then I'll just keep this going uh, in case your phone
It's
comes back.
yeah, it's I just I mean it's gonna come back, but it might just I don't know. You know what I mean? It might just go back and go
Yeah.
back, you know.
Yeah. All right. Um,
But yeah. Sorry.
yeah, people are saying isn't technology wonderful? Yeah. All right. X Rose is saying go on to YouTube. Can you share the link? If you just go to just Google YouTube to Saxy, you'll see the link that's live. Speaking of links, everybody, before it gets too late in office hours, we want to let you know that the two of us are going to be live in person holding our next workshop on Sunday. Boom, 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 boom. And we are doing a workshop all about phrasing, specifically rapping on the saxophone and lyrical playing. So pumped about this one. And the links to all of that is on our IGs. You can grab your ticket. Particularly pumped about this because I don't think this is anything that anyone has taught before. And both of our kind of specialties, are on almost like opposite sides of the musical spectrum. We're going to be talking about, Leo, you'll be leading them through super rhythmic rapping, playing. I'm going to be giving you a bunch of exercises for how to tie in melodic lyrical phrasing. And I think y'all will really be able to walk out of Sunday's workshop with hopefully a really new way, fresh perspective of looking at how to spice up your phrasing.
Yeah, honestly, phrasing should be just as natural as speaking. Um, and it's something that you know, I've been thinking about this a lot the last few days, really the last week, because it is very important, yet it's almost like it's almost hard to judge and tell people how to phrase because it really is unique to every person. But there are certain things you can do uh, to extend your reach and have more people react and connect to your music through phrasing.
Yeah.
There's a few tips that can really help. Um, as always, listen to your favorite players and emulate them. Um, but there are a few exercises and a few things that both of us can teach you that will really help.
What's
I
one that
guarantee
you
it.
can, yeah, I love that you're talking about phrasing, really making a difference. A lot of you have been practicing language, which is awesome, and expanding language. Phrasing is the thing that actually allows your language, just like when we speak, to have emphasis, to have oomph. And it doesn't even have to be complicated as far as notes to have a really punchy phrase. What's one thing you can give everybody right now, Leo, about a way to think about phrasing or a short exercise, something that we're going to dig into in depth on Sunday in our workshop?
One rule that I came up with that I was just thinking about right now was don't be worried to repeat things. Do not be worried to repeat phrases.
Do not be worried to repeat, 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 repeat,
repeat, repeat.
repeat,
Like,
repeat, repeat, repeat.
do not like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I feel like one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're playing a solo is that it's like these few measures feel like it's part of one solo. These few measures feel like it's part of another solo. It's just da ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da da ba da 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 da. Like,
Mm.
and it like if you just find something like you know what I mean, like
Mm.
find something that's nice, play it, you know, find something that you can like a cadence, something
Yes.
to do that really I don't know, it gets people to gets people interested, like an example of a solo. I've been trying to give like examples of like solo that I think is like not good phrasing. I'm gonna do my best here.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So not good phrasing. Great.
Yeah.
What do y'all
I don't
think?
know. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give you my if this is office hours, and if you sent that in, I would agree that that's not the strongest phrasing because I have nothing to kind of hold on to in your story and your phrase. It seems like there's a lot of fragmented things, and you're not telling a story with a motif either, or like a hook, or what you were previously talking about. What did you all think in that? And can you lead us through how you would change that? So that was your version A.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are people say?
They're saying, all right, what do you all think? We're getting some emojis. I think we're getting some hearts. Maybe they really like that. Someone, okay, Vic is saying connect your phrases. Um, I think that means that he or she is also agreeing with, I think there needs to be, there can be some more fluidity in there. Um,
Yeah.
we're missing the rhythm in a band without bass. Huh. Okay. Yeah. So what would you say about that, Leo?
It doesn't uh it doesn't move me and keep me like I don't know. It loses my attention because I'm just it random. It's random.
Random.
It's
Okay.
too random.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to stay
I
away
think so
from,
too.
you know. Um Also, I want to explain like I always explain. I'm looking through my perspective of what I've observed that I think the majority of people will connect to. If you want to
Mhm.
play totally random music, that's cool. And like there is an audience for that. So I don't want to discourage that. But if you want to play the way I do, if you like my solos, I'm going to teach the way that I think of it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get that out of the way because,
Yeah.
um, you know, people enjoy random music too.
Yeah.
Just I think less on average. Um,
How
but
come?
yeah, like one thing I was thinking that is another like little tip is like doing a phrase and then just doing it backwards. You know,
Ooh,
that's a
cool.
simple little phrase. You know,
All right. Love that.
like that's something that's very,
Take notes. That's
you
great.
know,
And you'll lead them through that even more in depth on Sunday's workshop.
yes,
That's super cool. Yeah, and you could take a super simple phrase, right? And like
yeah,
backwards.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Roseblade is saying that's so cool
yeah.
because
You know,
strong. That's super strong phrasing wise. Um, I have a little thing for all of you that I'll be going into more in depth on Sunday's workshop. By the way, link in all of our bios to grab tickets for that. It's going to be our most interactive workshop because we'll actually be together live in a safe manner. So it's going to be so much fun. And we're allotting 45 minutes for feedback for this upcoming workshop, everybody. That means we're going to bring you on to the screen and actually do some call and response, work with you real time, one on one style. But it's going to be, part of the workshop. And we're really allotting the most amount of time because I think so many of you have been getting really helpful stuff out of this workshop, and particularly working with us. So if you haven't joined us for past workshop, they are a freaking blast, and I feel pretty confident saying that because we've heard it from a lot of our students. So check out the link in our bio. We're talking about phrasing. One thing that I want to give all of you as a tip is I'm going to be leading you through lyrical playing, melodic playing. I think it's great to think about phrases kind of in a short, one bar phrase, Actually, that's even two beats, right? Da 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 da. But then I'm also going to lead you through an exercise of how you can elongate that and have a longer phrase, say over like 4 bars. Right? So that has a much bigger breath. And when you start to add shorter phrases with longer phrases, check it out. Also works really well when you're trying to create like a lift, a dynamic build. And so, I think there's a great balance that you have to practice, and we're going to give you exercises for that to make sure that you're continuing to switch it up and spice up your phrasing. And as you listen to music, as you practice these exercises, that's just going to become more ingrained and natural to you. So just a few of the things we're going to be going into. I'm so excited for it. Also, to talk about the rhythmic elements and the lyrical stuff, we're going to give you a really great overview. Um, Leo, let's just go over a few submissions. Is that cool?
Yeah, could you turn yourself up a little bit? I don't. For some reason, you sound soft now.
Oh yeah, am I talking?
Yeah, I don't know. And also it cut out a little bit when you were playing. I don't know if it's a Zoom
Oh,
thing.
okay, might have been. Is that better?
That's better.
I think Zoom might have it might be mixing us. Um, YouTube channel, everybody's just if you Google YouTube and Too Saxy, you'll find that we're live. So let's take a listen, everybody. This is someone who sent in. I think this is his band. So let's check it out. One more really quick announcement, everyone. Um, we're looking to confirm a teaching assistant for our workshop on Sunday. So if you'd like to apply to be our TA and get a free ticket to the workshop, email a transcription that you've written out and the reference audio to our email workshop at weare2saxy.com. And let us know that you're interested in being a TA for this Sunday's workshop, and we will confirm someone by the end of the day. And much love to all of our past workshop teaching assistants. Okay, let's take a listen. This is Jonah.
For some reason I can't hear it.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. There we go.
okay.
Yeah. It's kind of just going in and out. Yeah, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
It might be, huh? Is that going in and out for all of you? Can't hear it. Audio's cutting out. Really? It's so weird. I'm hardwired too. Technology keeps cutting. Let me just try one more time. I think he also said he was inspired by White Lava for this song.
Okay.
Let's try again. Sorry, guys. Better?
No. Sorry, it's just cutting out.
Uh,
Is
okay.
there that Zoom thing that like
This is so cool too.
I could listen to it on Instagram. I could turn on my Instagram.
Okay. Dang. Sorry, everybody. I have absolutely no idea why this is. I'm hardwired and everything. Well, I think y'all might be able to hear a little bit of this. Yeah, man. He actually, there's a full video that goes with that, but just for now, we'll just uh, let's just talk about the clip that we saw. Everybody, that's Jonah Sund Phil.
Nice. I thought it was really cool. Um, I would say, um, huh. Sometimes I don't know like what to say. Like when it comes to like I thought was good. You know what I mean? Like, um, maybe I'll just say like what I would do if I was running a competition. I would add more like high, like really high kind of squealy stuff. You
Hmm.
know, just to add another dimension. Kind of like squeaks and stuff. Maybe some just more effects. You
Mm.
know, whether it be whatever this is, flap tonguing,
Tap tongue.
or or whatever cool sounds you can think of, or like trills, like just with that style. I think it sounds really cool with a lot of different effects. Add just more ornaments. I thought it was really cool though. Um, I think that you and that drummer have a lot of potential, so I would continue exploring it and just try to get creative, add new effects, and maybe try some higher range stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the guy's Instagram channel um, to send to you guys. We just got this video, and you can submit if you want to be a part of a office hours in the future. Go ahead and DM your 1 minute clip to our Instagram channel. I love that thought, Leo. Really strong. Also, filmed in a really cool music video style, even in different locations. I love some of those visual transitions. You all didn't see this because it didn't start from the beginning, but there's about 25 seconds of just black before the sax comes on. And
Wow.
musically, I'm gonna be really honest here because you know how we do, you guys. We give you really honest feedback. Musically, I think that's cool. If someone's just streaming it and not seeing a visual, I'm gonna be really honest to say when I opened up your video, I thought the video was broken. Just I really thought there was an upload error, and I think like we were talking about earlier, we're in a world where people might open up something and watch literally a few seconds and then click to the next thing. So I think it's in your best interest to actually, bring in your visuals way sooner. And for everybody to think about that when you're making a music video, I'd also suggest that you watch other music videos that you love and see where your attention span is. Are you still there? Are you, you know, 1 minute later somewhere else? And it's a kind of a I feel torn about saying that because on one end of the spectrum, if I was really sitting down and just listening to the song and had all the time to focus on this, I would feel one way. But it's when somebody is just like on YouTube or looking at videos, and we're talking about you know a new audience that's finding you, then there's kind of a different way that I'm thinking. But I think they really got some good stuff going, what they're doing as a band.
Yeah. Um, I think that's a cool concept, and it's something to maybe save for when you're more established. Like,
Mm.
I feel like if a really popular artist with a big fan base did that, it would be cool.
Like the 25 seconds of black and
Yeah. I think it could be pulled off. Like, that sounds like something Wolfpack would do.
yeah,
You
and
know
you're
what I
like, is
mean?
this broken? And then they come on,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, whoa, cool. Like a
It,
statement.
yeah, it's almost like if you had enough fans already and you're already more established, I
Yeah.
think it could be a cool effect because some people would be like, "Oh, it's broken." Like I tried to watch that video, but it didn't work. You're talking to your friend or something else, like, "Oh no, it's 25 seconds of black screen first." It's like
Interesting.
what?
Yeah.
You almost need to go rewatch it, and it
Right.
almost counts as two views. You know?
And actually, maybe they were thinking that would be a talking point.
Yeah.
Because I could see how that definitely would be.
I just
Uh,
think if you're starting off, it's best to stay away from that. I think
yeah,
it's my personal opinion.
it's a great thought. Okay, so let's do one more, everybody. And we want to, again, mention that Sunday we're going to be together doing a workshop all about phrasing, rapping on the sax, and lyrical playing. It has been a second since we've been back together in person doing a workshop. I think the last time this happened, Leo, is when we first started workshops, which is literally months ago. So this is
Yeah, it's like
big.
March.
Yeah. And
Yo,
it's going to be so much fun. So
doesn't it feel like this time is like flying by right now?
it
Sorry
really
to
does.
interrupt you, but
Yes. I can't believe it's almost August.
like
Crazy.
it just doesn't feel like it's August to me. Like I keep on being like, man, this summer's gonna be great, and it's like this is like it's summer now. Like
We've already been at home for like 4 months. Can you believe that? Can you all believe that? I was actually saying that exact thing on the couch last night to Pasha. I'm like, wait, what? Is it almost August? What the heck is time? Time is
yeah,
going.
it's yeah,
I think one of the coolest things for me that's come out of quarantine, everyone, is the two of us being able to pair up and teach so many of you. Really, it's like been so cool that at this point hundreds of you have joined us for workshops and continuing to get DMs and emails from folks who have really learned a lot through it and are excited to learn from us. And that's something that we don't get to do when we're touring. So this has been like having this Saxy community. It's been such a highlight. It's been such a positive thing. And I love that so many people are digging into music right now and like, sharpening their skills. That's such a positive, awesome thing to be doing.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's end with one more. I'm going to just try again on YouTube. If it cuts out, my apologies. Let's see. This is our first bassoonist. Love that. And he said this is based upon a little moaning.
Okay. cool tone. It was a cool tone. I love the sound of the bassoon. I love bassoons. I wish I played bassoon. Bassoon
Dude,
is
our
super hard.
first bassoonist to DM for office hours. Yeah. We're going
Bassoon
to
is
do that.
super hard, so that's impressive.
Mhm.
I would just say maybe spend a little more time with the metronome. I felt like maybe it was a little bit shaky tempo wise, I think. So if you're not playing with the metronome, play with the metronome. But it sounded good. It was cool, and I think you should try to really form the idea. Maybe make a bridge or make the second section, or another thing. Because I mean, it's inspired by Mun, but it's different enough to be its own thing.
Yeah, I was going to say a similar thing about the metronome. From a phrasing point of view, I think you can lean into more of your anchor. You got that concert F going. So you could really play with that. And when you lock in some rhythm, I'd actually rather hear less notes and having everything be more in rhythm. I think uh, if you're playing more notes and that's been challenging to keep the rhythm with that, then I'd say, yeah, try to simplify because with your instrument, the bassoon, it's so unusual to begin with to hear the timbre of that and to be playing in this kind of groovy thing that I think you can even pack more punches with playing less. Um, Absolutely love that you're taking the bassoon there. Let's hear. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to hear more of what you're doing. And maybe we'll have some more bassoon players submit some groovy stuff. Or even, hey, I'd love to hear somebody swinging some straight ahead on bassoon. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Um, I
It's great.
I have to run to a conference call,
Go ahead.
but yeah, it's great hanging.
Yes, we'll see
And
you all on Sunday.
yes.
Workshop is then. Great, great to see all of you. Be well, everybody. Ciao.
All right, peace.